Okay, another 10-minute story. You gotta let me know if you like the stories or do you want me to do scriptures. But anyway, so my stories are coming from things that I'm seeing in the media. And I'm at that stage in my life where I can't hide who I am. I hid who I was because I don't believe in dictatorship. And all my life, I had to go through what God wanted me to go through in order for me to wake up. And to wake up doesn't come with being comfortable. So God puts his hands on you and molds you. But you've learned to call this negative, uh, fear. Uh, you make correction an unnecessary thing. Correction is needed. That's what your mother and father did to you, if you had one to do it to you. But I've been hearing now that they're finally speaking of something I told you about already. They're speaking of an El Nino, a super El Nino. All these things I've seen before. But like I said, I had to deal with the same thing over and over. And it was a statement over and over of, you think you know it all. And because I wanted to fit in and wanted people to love me, and the face that they were making when they were saying it wasn't a display of love. To me, it looked like a face of disappointment, a face of hatred. So I dumbed myself down, but I started to have to dumb myself down in many a different areas in my life. But I didn't know dumbing myself down was equivalent to dimming my light. There was no one around me that had enough light to tell me that I was doing that thing. So within my own interpretation, I was thinking I was doing the right thing by lowering myself to fit in. Not knowing that that's a form of going the wide path and not the narrow path. So I stopped recently and said to myself, my family and my friends misunderstood me, and my children have misunderstood me. But it all came from what I said, and the things I said proved the blood that was in me. Although it's the same blood within them, they just didn't do the right activities. I am Judean, or what you call Judah. And what I'm seeing in the world, I've seen many a time. Although it seems like I know a lot of things, I just remember a lot of things. I have a knowing, not something that comes from a university, not something that comes from doing the same things others do. It comes from walking with God in a world that's not. It was prophesied that a man would do that by the name of Enoch. That was took out of the Bible because it's a time period. It's a time when people on the earth hearts will run cold, and mothers will turn against daughters, and fathers against sons, and the children against parents, and parents against children. It'll also be a time when people will start to have visions and dreams. It'll also be a time when God looks and sees none of his people. So God will turn an ordinary man into something different from amongst his people. His people will put him to the streets to lie dead. And they think he is. He'll be discarded by his family, overlooked, because he was different. Hebrew. Hebrew means to be set apart, to be in the world, but not of the world. So those that are in the world are many, just like demonic thinking is many. But God is sovereign. One. That's a oneness, giving respect to all. On the other side of that is a oneness, where everyone gives respect to one. I'm not from that side. I'm from the side that you felt when I first got here in the 70s. A culture where family knew family, cousins knew cousins. And what you did to one, you did to us all. We had songs. A fight. I should have reminded you of the song. So now we come to these Asians. And you're asking questions that God already answered. Revelations 2 and 3. I'm just the one with the scepter, for the scepter never left us. So the things that you're saying you have done shows how uneducated you are. And I, whom you see is uneducated, will destroy the education of the wise. A simple Judean, a Negro from America. Just a little bit for now.